Alright, so you want an iPad mini and you want a point and shoot camera, but you want an iPhone. Well, this is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I've been using this device for about a week and a bit, and I have to say, more is not better. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is the most expensive iPhone that Apple released in 2020, and this phone's lowest price starts from $1099 US. Sheesh. I know, right? There's a price between of $320 when it comes to same storage of the iPhone 12 mini to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I mean, the size is pretty different, but the price is pretty different too. This phone's display size is 6.7 inch and it is impossible for me to operate it with one hand. I mean, this phone is only 0.3 inches different from the iPad mini. I'm not gonna lie, I was so scared to use this phone with one hand because I was constantly thinking about dropping this phone out of my hand. Also, if you have like a sweaty hand or if you constantly put like creams on your hand, this thing will slip out of your hand. I mean, you want to put some case on it, some grippy case, but if you put some grippy case, it will be bigger and it will be more difficult to use in my daily life, so it's kind of counterintuitive. This OLED display is very bright and very beautiful. Even this display doesn't support Pro Motion display, which is 120 Hz, which is kind of shame. The iOS 14's animation is smooth and it makes you feel like you're using a smoother display. Also, the new ceramic coating that iPhone 12 series have is a drop proof, not scratch proof, so just be aware of that. The weight of this phone is 228 grams, and I thought that's gonna be heavy because all the phones are in the 100-gram range, but to be honest, for this size, it doesn't feel heavy at all. And when I was putting it in my pocket, when I was putting it in my sling bag, it's pretty light, to be honest. However, guys, if you're the type of person who wears skinny jeans and you put your phone in your pocket, you do not want to put this iPhone 12 Pro Max in your pocket. This smartphone is super clunky and it is hella uncomfortable when I was wearing skinny jeans and when I was putting this thing in my pocket. Also, if you're the type of person who works out with your phone in your track pants, you do not want this phone in your pants. This phone will like swing around in your pants and it feels hella uncomfortable. So you might want to purchase some waist bag or sling bag to, you know, install this smartphone in so it won't like wiggle in your pants. The performance of this phone is just amazing. The new A14 Bionic chip is so powerful that I didn't have any lag or any stuttering on any type of video games or any type of apps. Also, this phone only has 6 gigs of RAM compared to other Android flagship. That sounds very small, but don't worry about it. It is all optimized since it is A14 and it's all Apple made ecosystem inside this phone, so everything runs totally smooth and I had no problem with it. Okay, camera is one of the features that Apple shines every single year for their iPhone series. And this year Apple kills it once again, but the Pro Max, it was kind of disappointing. This year, all the new iPhone 12 have a faster f1.6 main camera, which is their new lens, and I have to say it is a slight difference, but it handles a little bit better in the low light situation, and you can kind of notice it compared to other phone that you've been using previously. Especially Pro Max has the 47% increase in the sensor size, which will provide less noise in darker environment and more natural blur and background. But the difference between normal 12 series and the 12 Pro Max, the increase in sensor size is not that impressive. As you guys can see in these photos, it is pretty difficult to spot the actual difference between the normal 12 and the Pro Max photos. They both look really good, and the only time you can kind of tell the difference is in the darker environment. The Pro Max handles the street lights a little bit better and make it less noisier than 12. And since Pro Max have a bigger sensor, it does kind of perform better in the video side when it comes to low light situation. You have less noise and I'm more confident shooting stuff in a low light with the Pro Max. The sensor shift optical stabilization in this iPhone 12 Pro Max is really cool and sounds really cool too. So what sensor shift optical stabilization is, wow, that was a mouthful, is the actual sensor moves in the camera. So in theory, they have better stabilization when you're shooting a video. And I have to say that Pro Max's stabilization is not bad at all. It actually performs a little bit better than the normal 12 series, but the normal 12 stabilization is already really good. So the difference between the normal 12 series and the 12 Pro Max optical stabilization is so small. Like, it's very small. Like, for average users, I think they won't even notice it. To be able to shoot 10-bit Dolby Vision up to 60 frames per second is really cool and awesome feature to have as a creator. Because since this is 10-bit, we have a bunch of flexibility to play around with the color of the iPhone, and to be honest, for a smartphone video, we never had this much of flexibility, and I'm super happy about this Dolby Vision. But here's the catch. There's not so many affordable TV and monitor that supports fully on Dolby Vision and HDR, so it's actually kind of hard to watch the full HDR resolution of the iPhone footage that you took. And the HDR footages that you can shoot for an iPhone is not fully supported on Final Cut or other type of video software yet, so it is kind of annoying to edit as well. So if you're that type of person who just shoot videos for fun, just shoot videos for your friend, or just post on IG story, just turn off the HDR in the setting menu and it is very easy. But I have to say the lidar sensor is pretty killer feature in my opinion. It's really useful when you want the perfect autofocus in low light situation, and the lidar becomes really handy. Also, the 65mm equivalent telephoto camera is really cool in my opinion. I really enjoy it. Oh yeah, and the selfie camera this year for iPhone 12 series is nuts. The 12 megapixel selfie camera that can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second, and the HDR of the selfie camera is crazy as well. And you can also shoot a night photo for your selfie camera too, which is just so cool. This phone's battery is 3687 milliamp and the battery life is good, but not crazy good. In the spectrum of iPhones, I mean, it is at the top level, but when you compare it with to other Android manufacturers, it is not the best. I can hit around 8 hours of screen on time if I didn't really use camera, but for my daily usage, I use a lot of cameras and a lot of, video type of stuff. My screen on time is roughly around 6.5 to 7 hours. I will hit around 15 to 20% at that time. I mean, don't get me wrong, this phone itself is really good, and for only $100 different compared to the sensor size and the screen size and the whole battery life, I think from 12 Pro to 12 Pro Max is kind of worth it if you want a bigger battery and bigger screen. But if you genuinely just want the iPhone for the camera feature, I think 12 mini, 12 Pro will do it for you. And if you're that type of person who doesn't really like a big phone, I would say normal 12 Pro and 12 mini will probably be better for you. And please do not worry for the battery life. They all handle for a day easily. All you need to do is just charge it before you go to sleep, and they all have same fast charging time, and they all compatible with the MagSafe. The only thing you will miss out if you don't get the Pro Max is probably just bigger display and better battery in general, because the camera is good, but the 12 series is usually good if you're not a content creator or if you're not super nitpicky about the freaking camera. The reason why I'm disappointed about the iPhone 12 Pro Max is not just because of the camera. I mean, yeah, sure, they have a bigger battery and they have a bigger display and they have a little bit better camera, but for the same $1,000 price range, I think you can get more feature when it comes to hardware on Android side. For example, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, they have a stylus pen, and I wish this thing was Apple Pencil supported, so I can literally use this for like my notebook, and that would be pretty handy. And since this is $1,099 and they don't support ProMotion, it's kind of let down. I'm totally fine with 60 Hz. I don't really care about 90 Hz or 120 Hz, but it's just kind of still let down, It is $1,099 smartphone, which is so freaking expensive. And yes, since this is A14 and the whole SoC is from Apple and is fully optimized, the battery is performing a little bit better if the Android have a same type of battery capacity. But Android manufacturers are putting like 5,000 milliamp or more than 5,000 milliamp in their flagship devices, and you can probably easily use it for like 2 days. When I had Pixel 5, I usually hit like a day and a half super easily, and I was mind blown. But for this, I can hold it for a day and a half maximum, and that's about it. So it is kind of let down. But yeah, that was my small rant about iPhone 12 Pro Max. But don't get me wrong, I still like this phone. This smartphone feels like a just luxury in my hand, but I might return it because it's just not optimized in my daily usage, and I rather have a smaller phone that I can quickly access from my pocket if I'm just using casually. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My real day in the life iPhone 12 Pro Max will be right here, and my real day in the life iPhone 12 mini will be right here, and my full review of iPad Air 4 is going to be right here, and my channel is going to be right here. Anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I'll see you guys next time. My name is Peace Gates, and you guys already know. Peace out guys.